Elon Musk, ASMR, illegal alien deportation.
Well,
Scroll
did I
down.
comment on it or something?
You said you have no empathy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he doesn't.
Elon or Trump
Elon,
or who?
both of them.
Both of them. They don't have empathy
No.
because of deportation.
I mean, just treating people like they're not people, I think, is a pretty.
So you're fine with deporting illegals. You just don't like that they made like a jokey ASMR video about it.
Well, no, I don't think that it's funny. I think that it's tragic for everyone involved. I mean, them and their families, like their whole lives being uplifted. Like, yeah, I understand that we have to do deportations, but I don't think that it should be made into like a
spectacle.
A public stunt.
Okay.
I think it's
You know what? I'll go ahead and agree with you that the spectacle around it is in bad taste. But you do agree that like deportation should be a thing?
Well, yeah, I think that we definitely need that, but I just don't think. Well, I never said that we.
So you're in favor of deporting illegal immigrants?
Well, sure. Not all of them.
Why not?
Well, because this country was built on illegal immigrants. I mean, this country would collapse without illegal immigrants. If we deported... Okay.
It wouldn't collapse.
That's what you think because we haven't deported all. If you deported every single illegal immigrant here, nothing would get done.
That's an interesting take. What do you mean?
Sorry. I mean, that's the...
What tasks would not get done if we deported illegal immigrants?
Well, see, there's a lot of things that I could say, but they do sound like...
They sound
you know what you're trying to do to me.
It's the bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, these illegal immigrants, all they're good for is like low paid.
Well, that's not
like they.
I don't think that's all they're good for.
No, you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
I don't think that's all that they're good for, but you know.
It's like, what is the who's gonna clean your toilets? Like, don't you think
that's not what I was gonna say?
That's what you're gonna say.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Who's gonna pick your strawberry? Like, that's what you're gonna say.
Not what I was gonna say either. I was talking more like there are a lot of jobs that illegal immigrants do that Americans would not do for the same pay. So, and I don't think that that's right.
So you're in favor of like corporations like taking advantage?
No, I don't think that's right at all. But
so what job are they going to do? Because you said the society would crumble if they weren't doing these sorts of jobs.
You're trying to throw me under the bus right now.
It's just having a conversation.
It's going to look bad if I say it.
Say it.
Okay, it's just, basic jobs like construction is one of the really big ones. Where I live in Tucson, border city, right? We have a lot of illegal immigrants there. And you don't see white dudes out there working in 110 degree weather.
I see white people working construction jobs all the time.
I'm talking about my experience, okay? In Tucson, I don't see white people out there working in 110 degree weather.
I see white roofers all the time, and they're working on top of roofs in 100 degree weather. But go ahead.
This is my experience.
Fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Those people would not be doing the same job for the same amount of pay. And I don't think it's right that they're getting paid less, but I'm just saying that if we had all legal people working for these jobs, we'd have to pay them more, right? It would lead to a lot of further implications rather than just deporting people, hiring white people. Or Americans. That's just not, it's not as simple as that. You have to think about implications.
What are the implications?
I mean, an economy crash, not having enough workers. Who's going to pay for that? How are the businesses going to get extra money?
You would have to raise wages,
right?
Which would be good for American citizens, and they would eventually take up those employment fields.
Okay, think about that deeper. How are you raising the wages without harming the company that's paying them?
I don't fuck the company.
But what do you mean, fuck the company? That's literally all America is about business.
Too long have major corporations been exploiting like labor, illegal labor. How am I phrasing? I'm fucking the phrasing up. These corporations are essentially exploiting cheap labor.
Yeah, 100%. I don't agree with that.
And really, this idea, they're passing on all the money to the shareholders. I think it'd be better for the citizenry of the United States if people were paid a better wage for these kinds of jobs, the market can dictate it. If it's paid well enough, there will be people to do these jobs.
Right.
And if it means like I have to spend more money, then I'm okay with that.
Okay. So you like inflation.
Well, a lot of these companies could easily afford to pay whatever the minimum
100%,
wage is in their state to people who are actual American citizens without hurting the company.
We live in America, and America is all about rich people and rich people getting richer. And the businesses do not want to just pay the employees more. They're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. How?
What do you mean how? They would have to. If they deported all of the illegal labor that's being paid cents on the dollar for the work that they're doing, they would have to fill those slots in order to keep their company going.
How much would it cost? How many illegal immigrants are in America right now?
Millions.
How many?
I don't know, but it's
about
millions.
2.5 to 3 million.
It's probably more than it's more than that.
Yeah.
How much would it cost to deport all of those people?
Probably less than we sent to Ukraine in the last 4 years.
$2 trillion to deport all of those people. Who's paying for that?
The government.
Yeah, the taxpayers.
How is the government going to pay for that if we are so incredibly in debt?
Yeah, the taxpayers pay for all kinds of things like enforcement of laws, and illegally immigrating, you are literally committing a crime. You've committed a crime.
I don't disagree with you.
Right, it's a crime, and we do law enforcement. Like, we spend, for example, it costs the taxpayers a lot of money to prosecute a murderer, but it's still good to prosecute murderers, even if it costs the taxpayers money.
I totally agree with that, but I'm saying it's an unrealistic expectation to think that America can deport 3 million illegal immigrants. How? Explain to me how that would work. How are you going to round up?
They can self-deport.
3 million. Okay,
they can
explain to me the process.
If you don't self-deport, maybe in the future there's a chance for you to enter the country legally. But if we have to deport you, you're going to be charged with a crime, and it's going to either make it really difficult or impossible for you to down the road gain citizenship in this country.
So you're expecting all of these people to just say, I'm here illegally, I'll go back.
Some of them could.
You think all of them are going to do that?
No, of course not. But yeah, we should probably deport people who are here illegally.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
If I wanted to move to Japan or like Norway, which has like a really robust social safety net system in Norway, they because of they have a sovereign wealth fund, I think it's called, because of all their oil production or whatever. And they like help out their citizenry a lot. That's not possible if you have like mass amounts of immigration to Norway. Like, they're no longer going to be able to watch out for their actual citizenry. So like the reality, let me ask you a question. Of all the people who want to come to America, who want to live in America, how many people do you think that is in the world?
How many people want to live in America?
It's probably billions. It's probably 1 or 2 billion, right? Who either they're in India or China or whatever. How many people would want to live in America if they could?
Sure, that sounds like an okay number.
How are we, like, do you see, if we just dumped every single person who wanted to be in America and we just let them in, do you think that would be feasible?
No, I'm not saying to do that. I'm not saying that it's okay for illegal immigrants to come here. I'm saying that our economy the whole America is built on illegal immigrants, and you can't deny that.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is physically built by illegal immigrants, yes.
Sure, yes. Are illegal immigrants in certain job sectors that are essential to the economy? Yeah, sure. But we can fill those jobs with citizens.
Okay. I mean, I go back to the question, explain to me step by step how we would deport millions of illegal immigrants, where we would put them, how we would fly them out, where they would go. Explain the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not a law enforcement officer, so this is not like my particular field of expertise, but in terms of the deportation, first off, what we've already been doing, if they've already been like, if either in their home country they committed a crime or they've committed crimes in the United States, they're the first ones to be deported. We find them, we have records of where they live, so you can deport them. And then from there on out, you send them back to their home country. So you fly them to their home country. If you can, you have the home country, maybe pay for it if you can. But otherwise, yes, I'm all in favor of the U.S. taxpayer paying for the cost of deportation.
Okay, but again, you're talking about criminals. That's less than 1%. Now,
I mean, technically,
they're all criminals.
So technically, they're all criminals.
But you're talking. You have their address because they've done something illegal besides being
or
here illegally.
Yeah, or
so how are you going to deport everyone else that's just here?
You probably can't deport all of them, but you try to deport most of them.
Mm-hmm. How? Explain the process.
A law enforcement agent finds them.
Where do they put them?
Probably in a detention center.
Okay, who builds that? Who pays for it? Where is it?
There's existing detention centers that have been used.
1,000 people.
Yes, you do it piecemeal. Mm-hmm. You do it piecemeal.
Okay, again.
You put them on an airplane and you send them to their home country.
How long would it take for us to deport millions of illegal immigrants if we have a detention center with 1,000 people and a plane that can hold a couple hundred?
Hundreds, perhaps hundreds. I don't know the exact numbers. Hundreds of detention centers, thousands of planes that can be used to deport people.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of these detention centers have
So what's your solution? Should we just just keep the status quo?
Honestly, I don't really know what the solution is. That's beyond my reach. I'm not a politician.
Are you in favor of open borders?
No, I'm not in favor of open borders.
Okay, so then what's wrong with deporting people then?
I don't think there's anything wrong with deporting people.
So what's your argument? You're just asking about the feasibility of actually doing it?
Well, yeah, because
so then why not do it?
Well, because it's not feasible.
Why would it not be feasible?
I just explained to you how.
Why would it not? But hold on, hold on. You don't think the most powerful and richest country in the world doesn't have the means to deport people who are here illegally from the country? We absolutely can do it. It's like more so. Well, one, the will of the people is there. Mm-hmm. They elected Donald Trump, who wants to deport illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. The will of the people is there. The government can do it. What's the problem?
I don't think that there is a problem with deporting people that have committed crimes besides just illegally crossing here. I don't think that that's a bad thing, but I think going out of their way to deport people that have lived here since birth, that have grown up. If it's been since birth, it's not. If they've grown up, that's not
they
true,
technically
because
have
the DACA program, they're trying to get rid of that, which would mean, and I think it's up to the third generation, which would be their parents and their grandparents, deport them. People that have never lived in other countries besides America, we're trying to deport them, and you think that's okay?
How about this?
It's not okay.
If we grant the people who have been born, if we go ahead and grant them, they are citizens. Mm-hmm. Based on the law. I mean, there's some dispute over if we can roll that back or not, which is perhaps something Trump is trying to do. If we go ahead and grant that people who have been born here, they're going to remain here, they can remain citizens, but the people who came here illegally, we're going to deport them. Are you in favor of that? Regardless of their criminal status. They've never committed a crime, but we're going to deport them.
No.
Do you think that people should be able to cross the border and have anchor babies? Are you okay with that? You come over the border illegally, you're 9 months pregnant, you pop it out right on the other side of the border in the U.S.
Well, here's the thing.
And then now your mom and your grandma can all stay there.
America...
Tajillo donated $200. So you're advocating for an underclass of people to be exploited, to decrease prices, or to do undesirable jobs. Congratulations, you just made the same argument.
Oh my goodness, Tagilla, thank you for the TTS. Do you want to respond to that?
That's not, no, I didn't. I don't know.
But you do acknowledge these corporations are absolutely exploiting these people because
they're exploiting everybody that works for them. Even people that live here legally.
These companies are actually paying them lower wages, and they're like, hey, they might report you to the immigration services if you these employers have massive amounts of leverage over this specific set of employees who happen to be illegal immigrants.
You understand that the illegal immigrants are here by choice, working these jobs by choice, right? And they are getting paid completely different from slavery,
typically
where
under
you don't have a choice, and you're not getting paid.
Yeah, it's different. Sure, it's different than slavery.
No, it's
Wait, hold on. You don't think that corporations and companies, even for citizens, are exploitative to their own?
No, I 100% think they are.
Right. So they just in that same way, how they can be exploitative to citizens who are legally employed, they can just as easily be exploitative to those who are illegal immigrants.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're probably more likely to be exploitative towards them than like people who are actual citizens.
Yes, 100%.
Anyways, we can't linger too long on the immigration thing, but
okay. I mean, I am in favor of people that have committed crimes being deported. I am not in favor of people that have lived here for their entire lives being deported. And I'm not in favor of barging into people's homes and kicking them out. I'm not okay with that. I think that's cruel. I think America was built on diversity. This was the whole point. We're supposed to be a sanctuary for people that need it. And if we're not that, then we're not the greatest country in the world.
Let me ask you a question. Just because something was the case a long time ago, who's to say that there has to be continuity in some sort of like vague American value or virtue? Like if the economic social reality is like, okay, now we've reached a point where we can no longer provide for our own citizenry because of the illegal immigration that's happening. I'll give you an example. There are people that are homeless in this country, and the Biden administration is flying in people, they're not crossing the border.
You're listening to propaganda, first off.
That's not propaganda. The Biden administration was literally flying in illegal immigrants.
How?
And then they had them staying in like I don't know if it was 5-star luxury hotels. We have American citizens who are homeless on the street, but we're able to provide all this like cash flow and cell phones and food and housing to legal immigrants. Yes, this is happening.
Do you have a source for this? It's not Fox News.
I'm sure
then pull it up.
I have not committed the precise source to memory. Yes, illegal immigrants have been financially funded by the federal governments and state governments. They've been provided housing. They've been provided just here's a stipend, here's a couple $100 or whatever it is, food, shelter, clothing, cell phones, all this stuff.
Until you bring up a reputable source,
Google
there's
it.
just nothing I can say
Google
about
it. Here,
that.
I don't know the precise source. I don't commit all my sources to memory, but are you disputing that this is a thing?
Well, I'm saying that I've never seen that as a source. I've heard people say that. I've looked it up and I've seen that it wasn't true.
Damien, Google New York hotels.
No, Googling flying illegal immigrants over here on planes.
They did. They literally flew them from the southern border to New York.
Okay, Google it.
Honestly, because in the Tucson International Airport, they actually have a line for
well, it's the
process like illegal immigrants and stuff like that, like from Africa, from Venezuela.
Those are green card people, by the way. I literally live there. Yes. People without passports. Like, what the fuck?
Look, Damien, just here, do 2 Google searches. Do a search for were illegal immigrants flown into the country on airplanes, and then Google.
By the Biden administration, make sure you add that in.
It was
if it's in the last 4 years, it was the Biden administration.
And then Google, were illegal immigrants being housed in hotels? I think it was in New York. Look,
it happened once in New York, one place?
Oh, I'm pretty sure this has happened. Look,
pretty sure
this is not my area of expertise.
Well, you just have a lot to say about it.
You have a lot to say about it. You're denying my claim. I'm happy to pull up sources, but look, I have empathy for these people. But the reality is like, bro, we can't have unfettered immigration, illegal immigration into this country.
I understand.
And I understand they're trying to get away, like they want a better life in the United States. The United States is one of the best places you can live. But you can't, like, it's untenable. You can't have this amount of illegal immigration. What's really happening, one of the other things that's really rarely talked about when it comes to illegal immigration, and this applies also to legal immigration, is called brain drain. So like the most ambitious people, the most intelligent people, they're going to leave their countries and go to another country, and there's a term, it's called brain drain. So these countries, they're going to just continue to flounder. The people that live in these countries, I'd love to see these countries get built up where the quality of life is so fantastic in whether it's these South American, Central American countries, get built up to a point where you're happy to stay and live in your home country. But if everybody's leaving, and especially like the highly intelligent people, the people that can be leaders, the people that are, you know, whatever, they're engineers or whatever it may be, they want a better life here in America. Those countries need those intelligent people in those countries to build them up.
Right.
Do you have anything, Damien?
Yeah.
Let's pull it up. Biden's DHS flying thousands of illegal immigrants to the U.S.
Okay, let's read it.
This is... What's the source?
Where's the source?
Ralph Horman. What is...
Ralph Norman...
House Republicans
Everyone knew this was taking place.
list all of the U.S. cities to which the Biden administration has quietly flying hundreds of... flown hundreds of thousands of illegal... hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants. There's your source.
Okay, but the grammar on this isn't even correct. So, like, how would you say this is a reputable source?
Okay, she's not happy with the source. I mean,
I'm
I
not
don't know what to tell
happy
you.
with the source. Show me another one.
Related news: 400,000 individuals into the interior of the U.S. through this program.
Okay.
It's a .gov website, so this is a government agency who has made this post. This is Ralph Norman, a South Carolina congressman.
Can you pull up another one, or is that the only one that you can find on the internet?
No, just press back on that same page and we'll pull up the moment.
The U.S. taxpayers should not be paying for illegal immigrants to be flown into the United States.
I agree. I just don't think that's happening.
It literally did.
I'm just saying. You've shown me one source
From congressman.
This is why America is in the spot it's in. This is why we voted in this idiot, because of people that just believe everything they see on the internet.
I do believe stuff when it comes from a congressman on a .gov website, because that's all fact checked. Yeah, there you go. I have common sense.
Totally.
Sure. Yeah, you can show it to us. New York City's notorious Roosevelt Hotel shelter will be migrant-free in coming mode. She's not going to be happy. I mean,
New York Post? That's not...
I agree with you. The New York Post is not like a particularly reputable news source.
Show me an actual source.
They did, and you weren't happy with it.
There wasn't an actual source.
.gov says that is a government agency. The government themselves were ratting on themselves.
That is appeal to authority. That is a fallacy. It's appeal to authority. That's what it is. Look it up. It's a fallacy.
Anyways, look, we can't linger too long on this topic just because we have like a bajillion other things to get through, but...
Michaela
God.
3002 donated $200. Logistically, the U.S. provided fresh ice cream to troops in the Pacific during World War II. Moving people is easy work when we need it to be.
We were operating in two different theaters. We were in the European theater and we were in the Pacific theater. Trust me. And that was in the 1940s. The U.S. government is more than capable of removing people from our own territory. Mm-hmm. It's feasible.
Okay.
All right, we gotta go to the next thing.
Brian.
We can't. Let's blast through. Yep.
Brian, could you do my questions? 'Cause I need to leave.
Yeah, in just a sec.
Really sorry, but I can't.
Just a sec.